Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Saha Vidyam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. The four types of human beings were classified based on the two equipments that we have, the mind and the intellect. The permutation combination of this mind and intellect creates four classes of people. Dominated by mind, emotional. Dominated intellect, intellectual. Balanced, active. Both underdeveloped, indolent. So, what is the nature of a person when we say you are not wholly emotional or intellectual, active, indolent? You are a combination. In that, you would be having any one of that predominant. So, you need to take up that particular spiritual course, spiritual lessons you have to learn, practices you have to do, and then to take care of the remaining, you have to proportion according to that permutation combination. So at any one of us will be dominatedly practicing one. In that, we take only the first three. Doing the other things, we saw that in the last class. Now, he is just continuing with this, with the text. Page number 209. Second paragraph. The human mind is congested with selfish thoughts and desires, like cotton clogged with impurities. Bits and pieces of extraneous matter stick firmly to cotton. One cannot pull them out easily. There's a special process for purifying cotton of its impurities. It's known as carding. The impure cotton is beaten with a card, an instrument used for the purpose. The mass of clogged cotton is thinned out with the beating. Fine fibers of cotton separate and fly out. The impurities sticking to it drop down by gravity. The same phenomenon takes place in the mind. The human mind is plagued with egocentric desires. They cannot be easily removed. The practice of yoga helps to free the mind of its desires, like carding frees cotton of its impurities. Yoga sets up a high ideal for self-development, culminating in self-realization. The mind is drawn towards the ideal. It expands into the vastness of the ideal. As a result, the selfish impurities, desires drops off. The mind becomes purified. Thus, with constant practice of the yogas, the mind is rid of all desires except the ultimate desire for self-realization. It no more rushes to the world. It turns introvert. An introvert mind alone is qualified to meditate and attain spiritual enlightenment. So the practice of karma, bhakti, jnanam, this practice of these yogas remove the impurities. Like he gives the example of carding example. It's very simple. There's nothing complex about it. Here, it is a very straightforward thing for you to understand. Only thing he says is the desires will drop off with reference to the world. All worldly desires drop off through the practice of karma, bhakti, jnana. But then the desire for self-realization to experience that turiya state, the desire to know what is my original nature, that desire will not go away. That desire will be there. Now, how do you remove that desire? What is to be done there is what he is continuing. Meditation is the final gateway to self-realization. The practice of the yogas takes you up to the gateway. The different disciplines purify your mind of worldly thought and desire. The mind becomes qualified for concentration and meditation. Without preparing the mind to practice of meditation is a mockery. You cannot run before you can crawl. One cannot really meditate unless the mind is cleansed of its desires. This is the law. Both the preachers and the practitioners of meditation are ignorant of this fundamental law and plunge into meditation without the initial preparation. They are lured into it because of the apparent initial feeling of peace it creates, not realizing that the peace gained is temporary. It soon wears away. Another reason for people rushing into meditation is that its procedural details are simple, easily communicable, far removed from the protracted, deep study and reflection of Vedantic truths, which are difficult to convey and whose effects are slow, practically indiscernible. Hence, the temporary effect of meditation has been exploited to a point of absurdity, which has resulted in a worldwide craze, a mania for meditation. Few realize that meditation is the highest technique that a human can learn and practice. It's the most specialized art, skill, which requires a well-prepared mind free from worldly attachments and desires. Only a qualified mind can be trained to meditate. Meditation is the art of keeping the mind in sharp focus upon a single thought to the exclusion of all other thoughts. The mind maintains a silent chant of mantra, word, symbol, under the supervision of the intellect. The intellect does not allow the mind to slip into any other thought. The steady, single-pointed, conscious mental absorption in a single thought is meditation. Meditation practice thus leads you to the ultimate state of self-realization. It says the practice of yogas prepare you to go for meditation. And then through meditation, you experience, you get to that ultimate state of self-realization. This is the procedure. But what's happening now is there are two things have taken up today in the name of spiritual. Two extremes. One side extreme is meditation. Another side extreme is yoga. These two had become such a craze today in the world. And people say it is having tremendous impact. Yes, it has an impact. In terms of what? You get a good sleep. That's it. You are not going to grow, you are not going to be having a spiritual evolution. spiritual evolution can never happen when you go to meditation without initial preparation. Now, the way we are, marketing meditation today is not asking for any preparation from the point of a student. The practice of meditation has not gone through any preparation. Straight away we take to it. And why we are taking to it, why there is a worldwide craze for meditation, is because we see the result immediately. And the problem of the 21st century humanity is we want the result immediate today. Everything should happen instantly now. No, we can't have one side. Parallelly, what's happening to this modern world? What I'm saying is this meditation is not popular about 30 years back. 25, 30 years back, now meditation is not so popular. Yoga, meditation were not popular. This became popular only now. The last about 30, 40 years only we see this. Even 40 years also too much to say. It's only about 25, 30 years. We need to know why, how suddenly it has become. It's not that it is something we have invented new. Like mobile phones have become such a big thing now. Why? Because it's been invented new. About 40, 30 years back, mobile phones were not there in the market. But this yoga and meditation had been in the market from time immemorial, at least in this country. But it was never being administered or taught to a general public. It was not taught to a general public the way it has been popularized and been freely exposed and taught, practiced. Now we need to account for how come it has become such a big thing now. Right? What is the reason? Now that yoga, that the way we practice, is not a big problem. It is okay because it's only bending forward, bending backwards, sideward bending, this bending, doing breathing exercise. They say it helps your lungs. Good. As exercise, if you do, fine. The problem is doing that exercise, doing that yoga, we have started giving it a mystical twist. They started associating mystical things to these practices. There's no such thing, please. Immediately people say, you are not believing. These Vedanta people don't believe it. That is up to you to decide. Now you can do whatever you want. I don't care. See, when Galileo was asked, you have to change your book findings, otherwise we'll kill you, like what we did to this Copernicus. Galileo, smart fellow, he said, no, I don't want to go through the same fate as what happened to that man. He said, I am agreed to change my findings, but can I write a footnote? He said. In the footnote, he just wrote, the sun and earth doesn't listen to either Galileo or Pope. They keep doing their own things. The truth is independent. We don't care. Remember, it needs, we say, no, you need courage to speak truth. Today, in the current world, to say God is not in the temple, you don't need courage to say that today. You see, when the Keno Upanishadic master was telling to that group of students, Tadeva Brahmatvam Vidhi Nedam Yadidam Upasate, that is Brahman, not what you are worshipping. That is a tremendous, courageous statement from the master to say that to that audience. You see, Today, saying that to you people has no meaning because you are not upasate. Where is upasana for you? Hmm? Are you having any upasana practice? Do you believe in that? Do you genuinely believe God is there? When you go to a temple, do you genuinely believe Venkatachalapati is there in Tirupati? Do you believe it? Hmm? Forget about Venkatachalapati is all over, he's all pervading, all that. Sahasra, Shirasha, Purushaha, and all you may not have. Okay. At least you should have that belief God is there in that temple. No. That itself we don't carry. Therefore, to you to say, it doesn't require any courage. But today in the world to say, meditation will not help you spiritually. In fact, it will harm you spiritually. Needs tremendous courage. Why? Because the whole world is believing in this. Now we need to know who is. Now immediately people say, they said, what do you mean to say? You mean to say only this. This is what Ram Tirtha says. If numbers are to be the factor, then Satan's religion has more following. If you have to go by number, majority, we are all democratic people, So what we have to do, go for voting. Then what happens? Satan will become God. Why? Because Satan has more following than God actually. Are you going to, weigh the truth by numbers? Remember, you can't weigh the truth by numbers. So that's what he is explaining first. He says meditation has become a craze today. Without understanding, it needs preparation. What is going to prepare you to practice meditation is the 3 yogas, or the 4 yogas. The practice of karma, bhakti, jnanam should have offloaded the desires in you. That egocentric desires should have been offloaded. And your mind should have turned introverted in nature by itself. It's not that you're forcing, please, on its own. Without all these things, you go and sit for meditation, you won't get anything. First of all, you cannot meditate. I don't know what you people do in the name of meditation. Right? I have attended sessions. I have to, I don't know how many of you have been. I have been. Before Vedanta and all, I used to attend. So the meditation class I go, we sit in circle. The group, he said next Wednesday, take bath and come, he said, early morning. And he, gave specific instruction was to have cold water. Fortunately, that was in Chennai, so there is no big problem. So having cold water bath in Chennai is better actually. Hot water bath is tapaste. Cold water bath is a pleasant experience in Chennai. In Bangalore only the problem is. Or Delhi you go and say, have cold water bath, now forget it. There. So here, I was so, that's why I went. So I went there, we all sat, and he started. He said, all of you sit cross-legged. Not Padmasana and all that. He said, not necessary. You don't have to sit in Padmasana and all those things. You can just sit in a cross-legged posture and start chanting. Right? We start chanting. We started chanting. After 2 minutes, I was not a person who can follow instructions so easily. So I opened my eyes. I started looking around, what others are doing. I was not more interested in knowing what others are doing than what I'm doing. After about 2 minutes, 5 minutes later, I see everyone is bending down, I'm going down. After the session got over, I asked that man, the master there. I asked him, I was waiting after everyone left, I stayed back. Sir, I have a clarification. I wanted to know, everyone was, bending down, going down. Why? That is the sign of ego bending. I said, then lie down. No, I said. He got really angry with me. You lie down, no ego then. See, the bending is, less ego. Na? Standing erect means ego erect. So bending down, that means what? Less ego. I say you should lie down flat. Then you will never have ego. Permanently lie down flat. 4 people will carry you and put you somewhere. No ego at all you will have. See, what is this? Now 2, 3 people started snoring. Then I said, what is this? I said, relaxed. Relaxed there. Some of them used to tell me also, the Sunday morning, we used to have these classes, offline, classes when we were having the Gita class. Some of them would come in the morning and say, sir, the morning class was really good. You're able to understand better. Why? You are waking up fresh and coming. So obviously, you'll be fresh. Evening class means you are tired already. By the time you go finish your office work and then come running, you have to come and sit. By the time you settle down in the class, 15 minutes over. There, it's not the case. So you are more relaxed. Why? Sleeping. You realize the modern man's problem is his incapacity to sleep. Sleep is becoming a problem for human beings now. Why? Because no generation in the past had so much of excitement possibilities as what we have today. The old generation will remember the Doordarshan movie. Sunday evening, one Mokka movie they used to put. And this volume, I remember that Friday evening we used to have one volume in in Chennai, DD, Doordarshan, they will show 5 or 6 songs. There will be a fight within us. Hey, today we had 6 songs today. We had otherwise 4 songs. Shivratri means they'll put all Shiva songs. New Year means standard, all New Year songs will come. Standard things they have. All so boring, the dramas are all so boring. The news reading is nothing, so boring it would be. Now in YouTube we have the old, news, clippings are there. You see that. So boring it is. Now you see how exciting, how interesting it is. When so much of interesting, so much of exciting things are all happening in the waking state, how can you go to sleep? It's exciting. Now, how can you sleep? So, what is the only way for you then? You have to induce sleep. Now, that inducement for sleep is what that is what the mother does. The child refuses to sleep. Why? So much of energy the child has. It will keep playing. But the mother wants to do her work. But this fellow will wake up only at that time. So what to do now? She'll put the child on the lap and start singing a lullaby. What is that? One line. Repeating that same line again and again and again and again and again. The child gets frustrated and irritated and say, I better go to sleep than listening to this, the singing of yours. You shut up. What is it? Repetition. That's why even those who are struggling to sleep, when they travel in the train, they get a better sleep. Have you seen that? Why? Because of that consistency of that sound, the same sound keeps coming again and again and again and again and again. You go off to sleep. What are you doing in meditation, sir? After meditation, I'm so fresh. Why? I had a better sleep. Why? No chemical inducement here. All that you're doing is what? Repeating the same mantra again and again and again and again and again. What happens then? That monotonous repetition will naturally take you to that sleep mode. That sleep you get. That's all. It's a good way for us to get away from our excited lifestyle, because we don't know how to subside that excitement. Because how much of excitement you can manage? You can't manage beyond a point. It will start agitating you. You can't sustain that agitated state. So we need to relax. What is helping us to relax? You cannot find anything better than this. Repetition. Repeat a mantra. Any mantra will do. Any sound will do. Doesn't make any difference. It is not that Om is required. Om is a better mantra or Ram is a better mantra. Taraka mantra is Rama. That's the most potent mantra. And then some other fellow will come up with another mantra. Each one will come up with one mantra. You see, he is not in that place. What is it, sir? It's this. And we want that peace. How we want that peace? We want that peace instantly. And the problem today is not that wanting it instantly, that wanting success, wanting the results instantly is getting promoted as a great quality, as a virtue now. Is promoted as though that's a smart fellow. The intelligent fellow will get that. That's why, about previous generations, when this marriage alliance, when they start discussing, they will ask, whether the boy studied well, whether he has been, is he having, any bad habits. Today, bad habits means, drug addiction. If you're a bad habit, means drug addict. Now and then you are a bad fellow, right? If you are alcoholic, it's normal. You can share also. There's no problem. Smoking, you can share. Maybe the brand may not be the same between boy and girl. I see that. Now it has become like normal. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm only saying it has changed. You see, the equation changes. Now, previous generations, they used to have a different equation. Now, before even that marriage proposal starts, the question is asked is he having a house first? He should have a house, he should have a car, he should have everything first. And then let us discuss about marriage. So 2 generations back, they said, after retirement only he will think of buying a property only. With the retirement, benefits only he will think of buying one property somewhere. Now, even before you go in, first thing, the fellow starts studying itself is done with the prospect of getting a job. How? Before I finish, I should get a job. While studying, one advertisement came, I saw. While studying itself, you earn. I said, then why study? You earn while studying. I said, either you study or you earn. That is what we were told. When you're studying, don't get involved with money and all those things. Now, today, why this stock market has become such a big thing? Stock investments. Why? Instant result. We want everything instant. We want results so fast. The same way we want realization also so fast. Evolution also should happen so fast. God also should come so fast. So what I have to do, sir? Morning 15 minutes, I am with God. Evening 15 minutes, I am with God. That 15 minutes of being with God is for what? You meditate, yes. You are with God, yes. And then what happens? You become more energetic. For what? To run faster behind the world. You're all seeing that. You go to God only for what? Not for Him. You go to God, get some energy from Him, get some support from Him to run behind the world. So the point is, tomorrow, if Satan were to give you a guarantee that I will give more energy than God, what are you going to do? That is what Christ said. When Satan came and offered, you see, he took him to the mountaintop. He said, you see that whole kingdom? He said, yes, I'll make you the king of the entire thing. He didn't reply. He said, okay, I'll make you the king of even beyond what you are seeing. He didn't say anything. He just kept quiet. He didn't react. Then the Satan offered third time. It says, I'll make you the king of even the heavens. That is the time he uttered a famous statement of his. Get thee behind me, Satan. I'll have nothing from thy hands. I don't want anything from you. You follow me, he said. Why should I follow you? You follow me, I will get you. I will get you what you want. I don't have to follow you, man. Yes. That is Christ. There is he and where are we? We run behind God. For what? That's why he says, you can't run before you can crawl. But you want things instantly. Just the fact that I am able to be quiet for a few minutes. And we think that is something extraordinary. Remember, it's just a technique. You can learn, you can practice, and you can master it. To be quiet for a few minutes. The problem is we have started seeing that ability to be quiet for a few minutes as a spiritual evolution. That is taken. You see, that instant. And if you see, you should see those people who practice more. Most people, after that initial phase, fizzle down, they stop. They don't practice it beyond. They stop it. They are saved. Those who believe in that and start following get into trouble. I have seen cases who practice, meditation techniques. Yes, and what's wrong? Something wrong with my, father of the fellow said. Something wrong with him, sir. I don't know what is happening. Can you check it out? I said, okay, I'll see him. So when I went to their house, I just saw. I came out, while coming out, as I came to drop me, the car. He came down. I asked him, did he join any meditation class in the recent? Yeah, about 4 months back, he joined. And then he was practicing it, morning and evening. I said, that accounts for his behavior now. So what do you have to do, sir? Stop that first and take him to a psychiatrist. He'll give you pills. He'll give a recommendation, of course. Take that medication, you'll be all right in 6 months. But stop that. It doesn't. Most people don't follow that. Therefore, they are saved. And they say, initially I experienced something, and then I'm so excited about it. You come to Vedanta, the problem is what? It makes it very clear here. These Vedantic truths are how, sir? The effect of this Vedantic formula is slow, practically indiscernible. You can't find out what is the growth that is happening in you. You feel that there is no growth happening at all actually. In fact, have you ever felt you are aging? Every day you are seeing yourself in the mirror. Have you ever felt it? You see it only when you take your old album. You say, oh my God, You had put on weight. Someone who had not seen you for the last 1 year, quarantine. They were corona period, so they have not come out at all. After 1 year, they come and see you. They say, what happened to you? Lost so much of weight. They say, only you realize. Or when they say you had put on weight, only then you realize. Every day you're seeing the mirror, no? Do you recognize anything? You cannot. You don't see it. You see, gradually it is happening. Slowly it goes. It's a slow process. Slow process in the sense you can't, it's not really slow. It has a constant speed. That's what is meant by slow here. The sun moving, you see, the astronauts who went up to the space first, they were really stunned to see one thing. How constantly the light is traveling. The light is traveling a constant speed. Never it is gone faster or slower and then catching up. Constant speed. That consistency. In fact, in Valmiki describes Rama. One of the qualities of Rama he describes is that his walk is his walking pace constant. Never he has walked faster or slower. Always same pace. Whether it is a comedy, tragedy, exciting things, dejecting time, this walking space of Rama, constant. That is what is referred. It's a slow effect. Effect will not be perceptible, visible, as you see the other places where it is instant. What is instant here? Suddenly you see something happening in you. That instant thing people fall for. The another extreme is that practice of yoga. The other one is the yoga practice. What is why? Because the result there also is instant. You get the result instant there. But as I said, the practice is not the problem here. It will not damage you as meditation damages the practice. And then people say, sir, what we are doing in meditation is just, observing our thoughts. That's about it. We're not doing anything else. Just, sit and observe your thoughts. Just watch your thoughts. When you are not able to objectively watch a movie, try next time. Switch on after the class today, switch on any movie, any TV serial, doesn't matter. Switch on and keep that thought alert, alive in you that it is just a movie. I am watching a movie. I am watching a movie. I am watching a TV serial. That's it. It's just a serial. That's about it. Which means it is all well orchestrated. It's all planned already. What angle the camera should be, what expression the person should be, what dialogue they should say, what is the musical background should be given for that. All that is fixed there. It's all artificial. There is no reality to it. It's not yours. It's not real. It is all artificial. But still, you cannot maintain the thought, I am watching a movie. When you are not able to watch a movie, if I tell you, you should watch your thoughts, and you believe in that, I am watching my thoughts. You see, so interesting people. How gullible people are. How low our thinking capacity has gone in. You see, observe your thoughts, that's all. Now, because observing your thoughts, watching your thoughts is like watching a movie. Is it the same thing? Watching is same. No, doesn't make any difference. You can't say watching a thought is any different from watching a movie. It's the same thing because watching. Here also I'm watching, there also I'm watching. Only difference is what? There I'm watching a movie, here I'm watching thoughts. When I'm not able to maintain myself objectively, when I get involved in the movies, forget that I am watching a movie, expecting you to be maintaining your watchful alertness right through with reference to your thoughts. As it happened. First of all, when you become watchful, does thought arise in the mind? Do thoughts arises in the mind? Will it surface in the mind? The moment you become watchful, the thoughts will not surface. It will stop. It will subside. It will become nil. Then what are you observing? Blankness. You're just, observing blankness. And then you come out of meditation seat. After that, what is going to happen to your thoughts? Now you are not watching the thoughts. Then what does the thoughts do? Do they surface or not? You cannot know that. Why? You are not watching, no? See, for those people who did not come to class today, like, he's asking me, today is, what is that? Shivaratri. Do we have class today? Shivaratri. Now, every day night is night only. Right? Suddenly one Shivaratri becomes, now you believe that. What is it, sir? Shivaratri, I wake myself up. Tomorrow morning, you become enlightened. I have tried all that, didn't work. It's not that I have not tried. Whole night we would go and sit in the temple. They'll do Abhishekam after Abhishekam. I have tried that also. I have tried even the other one. In Mashana Puja they do. Shivaratri, this Mashana Puja will be done. I don't know how many of you know that. That's a special one. Everyone cannot know. Everyone will not be able to go there. It used to happen. We used to go. I've tried that also. This extreme orthodoxy. Also, I have seen this all not that it is not that we have not attempted. You see, but it is so interesting to see people. Shivaratri is a class there. That's only night. No. Now what is your problem? In fact, because it is Shivaratri, you should learn. No. Those who have not come today to the class, will they know whether we had the class or not? Anyway, they don't know. No. To a blind man, will it appear as rope or snake? To a blind fellow, is it rope or snake? Doubt will never come to him. Why? Both are not there for that fellow. When you are not watchful, whether the thoughts are arising or not, you will never know. When you become watchful, the thought subsides. So, according to you, what is the report you will give? You're all with me? When you watch your mind, thoughts will never surface. Thoughts will surface only when in this non-watchful alertness, awareness of you. When you are not watchful, only thought surfaces. Okay. Now, when you meditate, you are supposed to meditate what? Observe your thoughts. Watch your thoughts. The moment you start watching the thoughts disappear. Then what are you going to watch? There is nothing to watch. Right? Okay, you have concluded your meditation. You had come out of that seat of meditation, and now you have started doing your routine work. Now you get ready and go to office. Do you get thoughts or not? No. You do get thoughts. How do you know? And watch. See, you should know. No, the thoughts are coming. Which means, what are you doing in the name of meditation? Watching my thoughts. Who is going to watch your thoughts? Who is going to sit? That individual who has to watch thoughts has to entertain a powerful thought that I have to watch my thoughts. You see that? I have to watch my thoughts, I entertain that thought. That thought is watching another thought. So one thought is watching another thought. One desire is eating another desire. What is the difference? Why this is that? Because giving instructions with reference to meditation is very simple. Technical instructions to meditation is less than 1 minute. In 1 minute, I can give you the entire meditation procedure, what you are supposed to do. You don't take more than that. It is not anything more than this. But then, can you meditate? That's it. That is a different question. That is very difficult here for us. You develop that desire, strong desire to this. The contrast to that is, he says, here it is far removed from the protracted, deep study and reflection of Vedantic truths. It's a long one. It's a long process. There it is instant. Here it is long process. Which one you will go for? Long-term investment or short-term gain? In fact, many people who go in to stock market and crash is because of that short-term, instant. And the best part, they say, the gamblers, they say that what they call as beginner's luck is always there for any gambling you go. Beginner's luck is always there for people. So first time you get a luck. After that you continue, finished. Sensible fellow will do what? Enjoy that beginner's luck and get out. Then you are not a gambler at all. You see, then you are just, a tourist. You are not a gambler. A sincere student, really the one who is craving for that realization, who's having that tremendous commitment for realization, without preparation, if he plunges into meditation, what happens to him is what he says. Now, don't worry, there are more details are there. We will see more. Yeah, I'm just giving a very brief one, explaining why meditation has become such a craze today. I have not explained other aspects of it. All that we are studying now is only that one question. So why is it so popular today? What is wrong in that? Why this is not being brought out and given? Like now, there is a book, they released, The Secret. Einstein knew that secret. Christ had that secret. All those great people had that secret, but none of them told us. Only I'm going to tell you. Therefore, all you fellows buy this book. Yeah. That's all they are saying. Yeah. As though he is more compassionate than Buddha and Christ. These fellows. They are teaching us the secret, and those people did not teach us. Christ did not teach us what we should do, how we should live life. Only these fellows are coming and teaching us. And this book is sold how many? Millions of copies. Why? Because the marketing. Secret. So it's a secret. I say, what secret is that? If that is what they are supposed to do, if that fellow genuinely believed in that, what he should have done? He should have wrote that book, sat in his house, started calling for the universe to conspire, to make the book world number one. Why you have to say no? Compete like this lady who said, Indira, this was asked, this Pepsi one, Coca-Cola, this. She stopped that interviewer. Said, who told you Coke is my competitor? And that interviewer got totally confused. He said, see, Pepsi and Coke is the competition is between these two people. She stopped that fellow. He said, who told you that Coke is my competitor? No. Water is my competitor. My competition is with water, not with this. Coke is local. Yes, like that. If at all you want to sell your book, then why go for marketing? Why you sell this? Why you sell that? Why you have to create all those things? Just ask no. Attract the universe, no. Law of attraction. All the people will come to your house and take book from you. Why you have to do all this? Doesn't work that way, please. But still what? When you hear that, it looks so fantastic for you. My God, I don't have to do anything. All that I have to do is what? Draw my house. The way I want that house, I drew and I keep. Same house I got. Same locality. Same thing. Everything I've got exactly as I drew. When? 20 years back, I drew that picture. And every day I saw that picture. That's all I did. Nothing. I didn't go to school. I did not go to university. I did not study. I did not do any work. All that I did was what? Looking at it. Doesn't work that way, please. That's why this meditation was never brought in to this mainstream spiritual discipline. The mainstream spiritual disciplines constantly given out by these masters were only three: karma, bhakti, jnana. They were promoting either karma, they were promoting either bhakti, or they were promoting jnana. These two things they did not promote. Why? Because this Hatha Yoga is meant only for handful of few people in a generation. Meditation is meant for fellows who are highly evolved. So one is yet to wake up. Another fellow is almost he is attained. Just the final fine tune, all that is required for him. It's like this fellow is yet to open a bank account, yet to start earning money, one fellow. Another fellow is already having bank account and he is 1,000 rupees short of 1 million. That's all. Now, what advice you give to that fellow to become a millionaire? And what advice you give to this fellow? They said these two extremes are not the masses. The vast humanity needs these disciplines, karma, bhakti, jnana. That is why in the book also he analyzes only karma, bhakti, jnanam. Hatha yoga he dismisses. He says it's not, no discussion at all. About meditation, there is a separate chapter. That's an exclusive chapter. Why? Because advanced seekers, when you grow, you have to know that, what it is. So there we will see more in detailed study about meditation. But right now we have to understand why there is a craze and what is the difference. Why it has become such a popular thing today in the world. And what is wrong with it? It is dangerous. Why it is popular? Because of instant. Why it is popular? Because giving instructions with reference to meditation is very easy. There's no big problem. But to teach Vedanta is not easy. To give you the procedural details with reference to service, to make you do service is not easy. To train you to do that bhakti, develop that bhakti bhavana is not easy. These things needs a lot of effort from the teacher point of view. So two angles he analyzes. He says there are two reasons he gives. One, he says the weakness of the student. What's the weakness of the student? Is instant result. Wanting instant result is the weakness of the student. And what is the weakness of the teacher? Easy to give instructions. So it is easy for me and it works for you. So what is the problem? I scratch your back, you scratch me back. That's all. Good understanding between you and me. Like they say, no, what is a perfect marriage? You know, the definition of a perfect marriage. A wife who is blind, husband who is deaf. Marriage perfect between the two. There's no problem there. That's the marriage. And today humanity is going through that phase. So as a teacher, he comes and gives a warning here. He says, don't go for such instant things because it is temporary. Temporary means it will go away. When it goes away, it's a big problem. It would be exactly like a born blind gets an eyesight and in an accident he loses again, he becomes blind again. Now, what is the difference between that blindness and this blindness? It's more painful actually. You see, that will become the problem of these people. Then what they do, sir, they'll go ahead again, hit more, and more forcefully you go, more damage it does to your system. So you are just not meditating. In the name of meditation, you are doing something. What are you doing, sir? Sleeping. I don't think I'm criticizing, please. It's not to criticize people. I'm only explaining. That's about it. Now find out. For your own welfare, find out. When there is a tremendous pressure of desires existing in you, to say that I'm going to be watching, that's impossible. You cannot be watching it. You need to learn to stay out and then observe. So he says, what are the points he has given here in this portion, sir? In the introduction portion, there are 4 yogas. These 4 spiritual disciplines, there is no exclusivity with reference to any spiritual discipline. None of them either superior or inferior. 1. 2, the purpose of those disciplines is what? Is to eradicate desires. If without that idea of reduction of desires, if you are practicing these things, it is not spiritual. So when you say spiritual practice, it means reduction of desires. If you say that, sir, we are not having any desire for reduction of desires, but we are attending your classes, then which category we belong to? I don't know, right? But definitely one thing I know, that's not a spiritual category. So we don't have to worry about it. We are all on the same page, right? But spiritual, if you want to become, what is it, sir? Evolution, growth, and all that you want to discuss, it is reduction of desires. 2. 3. There is no one universal practices for everyone. There's no one path for everyone. It is depending upon your constitution. Then what constitutions are? Emotional, intellectual, active, indolent. And then through that practice, what will happen? Your desires will drop off, that impurities go away, all the selfishness and the self-centeredness, all that impurities that is sticking in the mind, egocentric desires drop off. Then what will happen? Journey is not complete, please. One more step you have to go. The final step is you have to knock off this desire also. What desire? Desire to realize the self. So this desire also you have to give up. Now, how? What is the way you have to do that? That is where meditation comes into picture. This karma bhakti jnana will not help you to take out, knock off that desire. That last traces of desire, the spiritual desires to be knocked off. You need the practice of meditation. But do not plunge into meditation before reduction of desires. If you do that, it will cause a problem to you. But people will go for it. People are going for it. Why? That's what he has explained here. This is what, in nutshell, this topic is. Now he takes up one by one. Bhakti analysis, jnanam analysis, karma analysis. There is a standard procedure he follows. What is not bhakti? Then what is bhakti? Then who is a bhakta? Same way. What is not jnanam? What is not jnana yoga practice? What is the right way of jnana yoga practice? Then who is a jnani? Same way, karma yoga. What is the misunderstandings we have with reference to karma yoga? Then how you have to practice that karma yoga and the effect of karma yoga. All this he analyzes in the subsequent 3 topics are there. Bhakti yoga, jnana yoga, and karma yoga. We'll see them in the next coming classes. Thank you.